The moment the clip begins, the atmosphere already feels charged, the kind of tension that doesn't announce itself loudly but hums beneath the surface, waiting for the smallest spark to explode. Loose Women, a show built on bold opinions and open conversation, suddenly becomes the stage for something far bigger than daytime television. The presence of Cliff Richard, a name woven into decades of British music history, carries weight, legacy, and expectation. This is not just another guest appearance. This is a cultural figure stepping into an environment where opinions move fast and restraint is often optional. As the conversation unfolds, it becomes clear that this is not a routine promotional segment. The energy shifts. What starts as discussion hardens into confrontation. Cliff Richard's body language tells its own story, measured at first, then increasingly rigid, the posture of someone who feels misunderstood, cornered, or pushed beyond a limit. The camera captures every micro-expression, every pause heavy with implication. This is live television, and there is no escape from the lens. The storytelling power of this moment lies in its raw unpredictability. Viewers expect polish, rehearsed civility, and controlled exchanges. What they get instead is emotional friction. The pace quickens. The studio feels smaller. The air feels tighter. Cliff Richard, a performer who has spent his life commanding stadiums and stages, now appears visibly uncomfortable in a space designed for conversation rather than performance. That contrast alone delivers a powerful, wow, moment, legend versus format, legacy versus immediacy. The confrontation does not erupt in shouting or chaos. Its intensity comes from restraint, from what is left unsaid, from the sense that respect and frustration are colliding head-on. Cliff's reactions suggest a deep personal stake. This is not just about opinions on a panel, it's about reputation, history, and dignity. For an artist whose career spans generations, public perception is not a casual matter. Every second on screen feels consequential. Then comes the turning point, the moment that transforms the clip from a tense exchange into viral television history. Cliff Richard makes the decision to disengage. The act of standing up, of physically removing himself from the conversation, lands like a shockwave. It is decisive, unmistakable, and deeply symbolic. This is a man choosing self-respect over spectacle, or at least asserting control in a situation where he feels it slipping away. The studio freezes. Viewers feel it instantly. This is the moment everyone will replay, analyze, and argue about online. The power of the walk-off is visual and emotional. There is no dramatic music, no scripted climax, yet it feels cinematic. Decades of fame, controversy, resilience, and public scrutiny compress into a single action. The camera follows, capturing the aftermath, the stunned energy left behind. This is television stripped of safety nets. The unpredictability becomes the feature. What elevates this moment further is how quickly it escapes the studio and enters the digital world. Clips circulate with explosive headlines. Social media ignites with divided reactions. Some viewers frame Cliff Richard as standing up for himself against perceived hostility. Others argue that walking away undermines the spirit of open discussion. The debate becomes as intense as the moment itself. That polarization fuels the clip's momentum, turning it into a cultural flashpoint rather than a fleeting broadcast incident. From a storytelling perspective, the design of the moment is almost perfect. A legendary figure, a live format known for blunt opinions, a conversation that escalates without warning. A decisive exit that leaves questions unanswered. Every element aligns to create maximum impact. It's not manufactured drama, it's organic, unpredictable, and therefore far more compelling. The emotional specs of the incident are undeniable. Tension replaces comfort. Legacy clashes with modern media culture. Authority meets confrontation. Silence speaks louder than words. These are the ingredients that keep audiences watching, rewinding, and sharing. The clip doesn't rely on sensationalism alone, it taps into something deeper, the vulnerability of public figures and the limits of televised debate. As the dust settles, the moment continues to live on, not just as a controversial clip, but as a reminder of how quickly live television can cross from routine into unforgettable. Cliff Richard's exit becomes a symbol of boundaries, of generational divides, of the pressure placed on icons in an era where every reaction is scrutinized frame by frame. This is not just a walk-off. It is a collision between legacy and modern broadcast culture. A reminder that even seasoned performers can be pushed into unscripted territory. A vivid demonstration of how live TV still has the power to shock, captivate, and dominate conversation long after the cameras stop rolling. And that is the true, wow, moment, Not the argument itself, but the fact that, in an age of endless content, a single unscripted decision can still freeze a studio, ignite the internet, and carve its place into television history.